Let me ask you something. When you're alone, you can orgasm, right? You know what feels good. You know what you like. You know what works. But the moment your partner is involved, the orgasm feels completely out of reach. And you start wondering what's wrong and wondering, why can't I just let go? Why can't I orgasm? So I've heard this from so many women and I've lived this. So, and today I want to give you a real answer. And the answer is not about technique, but the answer is about what's actually happening beneath the surface when orgasm feels impossible with a partner. So today's intimacy question is, why can't I orgasm with my partner? Okay, so let's get into it. And before we go any further, I need you to hear this. I need you to know this. If you have a vulva and a vagina, you can orgasm. That's all you need to have an orgasm is a vulva and a vagina. Okay. And also, I need you to hear this. There's nothing wrong with you and nothing is broken inside of you. And you do not need to be fixed. And while technique can help, this conversation isn't really about technique. It's about something much deeper. It's about feeling safe, being open, and feeling safe to connect enough with your body to allow orgasm to happen. Because orgasm is not something that you force, it's something that you surrender to. And if your nervous system doesn't feel safe enough to surrender, even when you desperately want to, your body will resist every time. Welcome to Ask Amanda. I'm Amanda, a trauma informed certified sex love and relationship coach. And I was once a woman deeply disconnected from my own body and pleasure. Now I coach women to reconnect to pleasure, to feel safe in their bodies, and to drop into unconditional, radical self love. And I help them to build relationships that actually feel good. So, subscribe to the channel. And if you have a question about intimacy, love, or relationships, drop it in the comments. Your question could be the next episode. So, now let's talk about what's really happening when you can't orgasm with a partner. Okay. So, biggest myth about orgasm. I think this is one of the biggest myths. Most people think it's about technique, more pressure, more effort, different kinds of techniques. But here's what I've seen working with women is that more pressure or effort often makes it worse. More stimulation makes it worse because it can actually cause a woman's body to shut down entirely. Okay. And what most women need isn't more effort, they need less pressure. The body is constantly asking the one question in intimacy is, and in life in general, is it safe to let go here? Is it safe to let go here? And if the answer is no, it doesn't matter what technique you're using, it's not going to work. If that answer is no, it doesn't matter what you do, what a pressure, what stimulation, it's just not going to work. So the next thing is your mind gets in the way. Okay. Many women are physically present during intimacy, but mentally somewhere else entirely. It could be thinking, monitoring, analyzing. What am I going to cook for dinner tomorrow night? Okay, what's happening at the job? I don't like this person at my job. Or, oh, am I taking too long? How do I look? Oh, we do that a lot. How do I look? We're wondering how we look during intimacy. Is my partner frustrated? Why isn't it happening? Why am I not coming? Something like that. So that's not being in your body. So one of the things I want you to really understand, if you take nothing else away from this, pleasure lives in your body, not in your mind, not in your thinking mind. The thinking mind actually interrupts the feeling body, and the feeling body is what you need for orgasm to happen. And here's something personal that I'll also share with you. For years, I thought sex was about me performing to make my partner feel good, keeping him addicted in a sense. And it worked. It works. But that addiction wasn't the real me. It was an addiction to the performer in me. And you can't perform forever. It's exhausting. And underneath all of that performance, I wasn't actually feeling anything. So it was all for what? And so for me, as it is with a lot of women, receiving pleasure felt foreign, uncomfortable. It felt very vulnerable, because receiving requires letting go of control. And a lot of women, myself included, we're not willing to let go of control, because if we let go of control, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And so there's a deep component to this that is wired into your nervous system. Okay. And a lot of people think, okay, this is about love. And I know what you're thinking. Amanda, I love my partner. I feel safe with him. My partner has never hurt me. And I believe you, but orgasm isn't about love, it's about safety. And safety is far more layered than most people realize. Excuse me. And I want you to ask yourself honestly, just deep level of honesty, do I feel safe expressing what I want to my partner? Do I feel safe saying no? Do I feel safe saying I want something different? If something doesn't feel good for me, do I feel safe to say I don't I don't want that. I would prefer this. Do you feel safe taking up space? Deep intimacy and pleasure requires you to take up space. Do you feel safe making sounds? Or do you feel safe being fully seen with this person? And safety isn't just physical, it's emotional, it's relational, it's nervous system. And sometimes your body is responding to emotional realities that your mind hasn't fully acknowledged yet. It hasn't fully registered. So there could be something going on in your relationship that hasn't registered with you mentally, but your body knows. Your body knows. And when the body can finally answer yes to the questions I asked you to ask yourself, when it can relax, let go, and trust that it's safe to be fully present, pleasure becomes exponentially more accessible to you. Okay, practical tools that actually work. Let's get into what you can actually do. So I'm all about moving the needle, doing the things that are going to get you the results that you want. Okay. Number one, you probably need more clitoral stimulation. Yes, clitoral stimulation. So, and that is completely normal. That's the first thing I want to let you know. It's completely normal. For most women, penetration alone is not enough for them to have an orgasm. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with your body. That's just the way women's bodies work. And the more you can accept and understand this, and you can communicate that truth to your partner, the more pleasure you'll experience. Okay. And a quick note about the clitoris. Did you know that the only job of the clitoris is to bring pleasure, to experience pleasure? It has no other function in the female body. The clitoris has no other function. For example, the male penis, it has a function of eliminating, waste through urine. It has a reproductive function. It's a pathway for semen and sperm for reproduction. The clitoris is only for pleasure. Oh, and get this, y'all. Okay. Are you ready to hear this? Are you ready to hear this? Okay. The clitoris has over 10 10,000 nerve fibers. Yes, I said 10,000 nerve fibers. Now, what do you think all those nerve fibers are for? It's for pleasure. So we should absolutely be stimulating the clitoris. Okay. So just a quick tidbit about the clitoris. I think that's my favorite body part. Okay. Number two, communication. I know you've heard this before, but communication, it's true. It's everything. Can you tell your partner what feels good? Can you guide their hands? Even if you feel shy to say it out loud, can you guide their hands around to the different body parts that feel good for you? Okay. And can you ask for what you need without apologizing? This one was really hard for me, to ask for what I needed without like shrinking or apologizing, just owning my desire. That one can be really hard, right? And most women spend years prioritizing their partner's pleasure over their own. And that has to change. That must change. Number three, you need more time than you think. Okay. Arousal is not a race, it is your nervous system. It needs time to relax. Okay. It needs time to relax. And your body needs time to open up. And one of the fastest ways to shut down pleasure is to be rushed, is for you to even feel like you're being rushed. Even if you're not being rushed, if you feel like you're being rushed, that's enough to shut down pleasure. So give yourself permission to go slowly. Okay, give yourself that permission. Number four, breathe. This sounds so simple, but it's not. Most women unconsciously hold their breath during intimacy or breathe very shallowly, and so shallowly that their nervous system stays in a state of tension. That tension is there. And next time you notice yourself drifting into your head or just going somewhere else, whatever, return to your breath. In intimacy, if you can start just simply returning to your breath again and again and breathing in a certain way, and I'll tell you about that in a minute during our practice, I'll let you know. So going back to your breath. For example, you're going to slowly inhale into your belly. Imagine the breath moving all the way down into your pelvis, into your pelvic floor, your hips. Just imagine that breath going all the way down. Long exhales, longer exhales than inhales through your mouth. And breath moves the nervous system out of tension and into openness. And that's where you want to be. You want to be in openness. It also helps pleasure to spread throughout your body instead of all that energy staying locked into one spot. Okay. Number five, soften your jaw. Yes, your jaws. You're going to soften your jaw. There is a deep, deep connection between the jaw and the pelvic floor. Take just a moment right now. Now open up your mouth and soften your jaw. Relax your jaw. And you'll notice your pelvic floor feels different when you do that. Okay. So when your jaw is tightened, also your pelvic floor is tightened. And many women are trying to orgasm while they have a clenched jaw and they're holding their breath and gripping their stomach. See if you can soften your jaw, soften your belly, soften your hips, and you'll be amazed at how much more sensation becomes available to you when you stop bracing. Number six, and this is a big one, stop making orgasm the goal. Stop making orgasm the goal. Okay, so every time you're checking in with yourself about, am I close? How does he feel? Why isn't this happening? Why is it so hard for me to come? You're pulling yourself completely out of the experience. And remember, we want to be present in the experience to open ourselves up to pleasure, to receive more pleasure. So instead of putting your attention on, what else is going on, put your attention on sensation. Just a sensation, warmth, pleasure, your breathing, connection, and what's actually happening in your body in intimacy. You can put your focus on that. And often, orgasm becomes most available in the moment it stops being like a homework assignment. It's not a homework assignment. Okay, now we're going to end with our somatic practice. Okay, so I'm going to guide you through this practice, and it's a breathing practice. And this practice is not about creating orgasm or making orgasm happen, it's about creating safety. Yes, safety. That's one of our key words today because safety is where pleasure grows. So I want you to find a comfortable position. Um, if you're sitting, your feet should be flat on the floor, or if you're lying down, you should be feeling that support of the surface underneath you, whether it's a yoga mat, a bed, the floor, whatever. Okay, so feel that support. You're going to take slow inhales through your nose. You're going to do a count of 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how you're going to breathe. In your nose, in through your nose, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out through your mouth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep breathing this way. You're going to have a longer exhale than inhale. This pattern signals to your nervous system, I can relax. I can relax. This is the parasympathetic nervous system. I can relax. I'm not in danger. Rest, digest. Okay? You're going to notice your forehead. Okay, you notice your forehead. Can it soften? And then what about your jaw? We talked about. Can you release it? Can that soften? And your belly. Can that soften? Your shoulders. So with each of your exhales, you're going to soften another part of your body. Forehead, jaw, shoulders, maybe your heart space, your belly. You're going to keep doing that. Okay. And then I'm going to invite you to place one hand over your heart and one hand over your lower belly. You're going to feel the support of your own touch. Feel your breath moving beneath your hands. And ask yourself, what would it feel like to receive instead of perform? What would that feel like? Okay. Just notice. No wrong answers. No right answers. No pressure. Just listening. And then I'm going to take one more slow inhale. And a long releasing exhale. And remind yourself, my body is safe. My body is wise. My body is learning how to receive. You're going to practice this alone first. You're going to do it alone first. Or you can do it when you're self-pleasuring as well. Alone, self-pleasuring, or not. It's up to you. What you're doing is teaching your body what safety feels like and what it feels like to soften without performing. And then after maybe 3 weeks, you do this on your own, pleasuring or not self-pleasuring. It's up to you. You're going to bring this same breathing techniques with the slow inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 through your mouth. You're going to bring that breathing technique into your intimacy with your partner. Okay. We're going to do these things first, and then we bring in our partner. Okay. Slow inhale, longer exhale. This is reminding the nervous system, I don't have to make anything happen. I can simply be here. I can receive. Because pleasure grows in safety, And safety is something that you can actually intentionally cultivate. You can create safety. Yes, you can create safety in your body for sure. Okay, so many women come to me thinking that they have a problem with orgasm or intimacy. And what we discover is that pretty quickly is that their bodies have been carrying protective patterns around for years. And these patterns that once made sense, for good reason, you probably developed these patterns, is now keeping you from connection, from pleasure, from deep intimacy, and keeping you from even having the relationship you want. So if this resonates with you, I invite you to join me for a relationship reset session. This is a 2-hour deep dive session where we uncover the hidden patterns that keep you stuck and identify what's happening in your body, in your nervous system. And we create together a clear, personalized roadmap and a way for you to move forward. The link for the relationship reset session is below in the description. And I'm also going to put a QR code. So you can scan the QR code or you can go to the link below in the description if you want to book that relationship reset session. And I have dramatically reduced my coaching rate for this session because I just want it to be more available to women of all kinds of backgrounds and financial realities. Okay. And remember, pleasure begins where pressure ends. And the most powerful thing you can do is to stop trying so hard and let your body soften into that openness for the space of orgasm. Thank you all. I'll see you all on the next one.